What's up, Magnetic Men Club? We are back here on another Friday with you guys with a whole new, fresh topic. First Friday of February, so we wanted to start off strong. We took pretty much all of January trying to figure out exactly what our school community was going to look like. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of you have seen that, the big investor and businessman, Alex Ramosi, invested his biggest investment ever into the school platform, the SKOOL.com platform.
Yeah.
And it's basically a platform that allows you to monetize your passion. Like whatever you're passionate about, you can go to that platform and essentially charge a membership fee and teach people how to do what you do. And so we figured, okay, well, we're trying to teach men how to be more manly. We're trying to teach men how to have more self-confidence. We're trying to teach men what it means to be men. We're trying to initiate men into manhood and really help them build their own tribe and stuff around them so that they can really live the life that they want to live and really become a magnetic man that attracts what he really wants into his life. And so that's what this is all about. And so I figured that would be the topic for today. We'll talk all about the courses and stuff that we just launched inside of that community. And we've got a special offer for you guys. I've dropped the links and everything below. The first 50 members are going to get in for $7 a month for life. That's a lifetime discount. You can cancel anytime. Let's say you want to pay the $7 and get a feel for what it's like the first 30 days and then cancel before the next payment. Dude, power to you. You totally can do that. But it's going to cost you $7, that little investment in yourself to get started on your path to freedom today. That's what this is all about. And so, yeah, we're going to cover all of the many topics that we have inside of that course. And then you guys can head over there, join that community, be part of the discussion, and jump into deep dives on each one of these topics later on.
Yeah, awesome. We did a lot of work on it, guys. By the way, that's Chase. I'm Jared. If you guys haven't known by now, I'm sure you do.
Of course.
We appreciate you every Friday coming in and spending about an hour with us, learning a little bit more about what makes us tick and some of the differences that our thought processes have. And the good thing with school is I can't, well, even coach, even Case on the business side, we don't take everybody who wants the one-on-one coaching. And a lot of the reasons why is I can't physically coach all the people.
Right.
And some of the people that call us, I don't align with them. Like I don't align with maybe their mindset. They need to correct their mindset. There's certain things where and really honestly, guys, some guys are, well, sorry to say, it's fucking cheap, and they don't understand that they need to invest in themselves. So school is the next best thing, where $7 the first 50 people. There are videos that are not so much interactive, but you can watch. There are, I don't know how many different not podcasts. What do we call them? Just things I put in there. I'm losing my mind today, but just different stuff we put in there.
Yeah,
Nice with school
it's kind of like deep dives on topics and stuff. Yeah.
What's nice with this, you can actually ask me a question or Chase, and I see it in real time. Whereas sometimes the people on YouTube will ask me a question. I don't see it for a week or two because I'm not always in those channels. Because the people that want to join our community, they want a little bit more access to me, but maybe not pay that premium access that I would need to charge in order for me to give up X amount of time one-on-one with you. This way you can sort of self-teach yourself. Maybe there's an area that you want to shore up. You can go to those sections. But if you have a question, you can leave a comment and I can respond back to you. So that's one of the cool things that school offers that I can. And also, by the way, your question may help other people who have the same exact question. So it allows me actually to answer it once, and maybe many, many other men can read it like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So it is a way for me to kind of coach a little bit more on the masses until those people are ready for that one-on-one to really hone in on what it is that they want to do. So school's a really good start. And I wanted to bring that up because that's the one thing in our free community that we sent a lot of you guys to, we certainly have that, but we don't interact as much as we do in school. What are your thoughts on that, Chase, too?
So that's the biggest thing, is understanding that like we want to connect with the audience on a deeper level. But the biggest thing too is that we've tried this from free communities and stuff like that too. We tried setting up free communities. We tried putting all this stuff in there. That's where a lot of this content comes from. We took all the best topics that we had from our free community that we had set up. And basically what we did was dropped all those topics in here. That's why we have so much kind of as a foundation to start off with. We just barely started this. So everybody who gets in here is what we're considering a founding member. So we want to make sure that the first 50 founding members get in here and they're able to just make that initial little $7 investment. And the reason that we're asking for that initial $7 investment is, for one thing, it helps us keep the lights on. It helps us continue our mission. It helps us help other men. And so that's really where all that stuff comes from. I mean, you're really contributing to our mission to help as many men as possible realize their full potential so that they can live the lives that they really want to live and really move on to the next steps. A lot of them just need clarity. A lot of them just need courage. A lot of them just need confidence. A lot of them just need to be heard. That's why this is a men's only space. We're not actually going to let any women in here. This is where we can really talk about men's topics for men. And it's a space for men to talk about those things and understand that we're not going to get out of here. Everything that we talk about stays in here. Yeah. And this is really just for the betterment of ourselves. We all want to be on a mission together. And so we want to make sure that, we're on the mission with you, for one thing, because obviously we're trying to improve. We're trying to embody these different aspects of our lives. We're trying to actually add these things to our personality, have these different values, understand what we can do to eliminate limiting beliefs and that kind of stuff too. Because usually all you need is just that backing and that little bit of encouragement from a tribe of brothers who are kind of on the same mission, who've been there, done that. And that's what we're really trying to create here. We really want to create a place where we can really foster that kind of connectivity, because men need to be initiated into manhood by other men. And so we want to get men who are really on a mission to understand that they need to invest in themselves. And so they can really get started on that journey and start to get that map really laid out for them for just $7. It's just a simple little $7 investment. That's a lifetime discount. If you guys can get in there and get in right now. If you see over on the right here, I've actually dropped the link inside of the chat here. So if you guys want to click on there, if you guys just go to school.com and search for Magnetic Men Club, you'll find us. Like I said, you'll join for that $7 fee. Let us know what kind of topics you want us to cover. We've got more and more courses coming. I know we've had a lot of the questions in the past about whether we cover business topics. Mm-hmm. Yes, I've got 4 courses coming in there this month, February, basically, where we're going to drop all that knowledge in there on creating an arbitrage business, creating passive profits, selling other people's products, all kinds of different stuff to really set up that side income for you so you can create that ultimate freedom for yourself. Yeah.
Which the other thing we have in here, guys, too, we dropped in, I believe it's 15 long form videos. I want to say when I was doing these, now our cameraman and editor, Nate, cut them up a little bit. But I want to say they're about 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes a piece, talking about specific things that men typically need to go through, or maybe specific traits that all higher value men need to have. So if you're looking to level yourself up, and let's say maybe you're a pushover, maybe you're really not sure what boundaries mean. I have a whole video on boundaries and what they are, how to establish them, things that you can do, baby steps to actually start creating boundaries. We get a lot of guys who, I call it fear and doubt. It's also confidence and self-esteem. They're kind of all the same words. I did a whole video on really what does fear mean? What does self-doubt mean? So maybe you're struggling that. You get to just click on that. And if you take all those videos and just average 30 minutes, that's what? Almost 8 hours of content just in those videos that you can go through, take some notes, and start implementing those things that maybe you're a little short on or you don't really know enough about. Hell, it might just be, how do I set goals? I did a whole thing on actually how to set a goal and take that outcome goal and break it down to processes and break those down to even at a more of a micro and nano level. So we can take whatever goal outcome you want and start breaking those down. So we have a ton of videos in there. And then we have some sprint courses, very short ones. I believe they're like 20 minutes or so. You can just take a look at those. And they're kind of like a taster, like, okay, what is this all about? And you get to kind of look at that. And then if you want a little bit more of the longer forms, then you can go into these. All of this is for $7. We're going to continue to add courses to this. Chase just mentioned the business ones. I have some other ones that we're going to be adding in here soon. I'm going to do a whole section that Chase has spelled out that we're working on. I'm also going to put in some other ones that are talking about what I call soft power. Now, we talk a little bit about being that alpha, that rugged alpha man. Well, I want to talk a little bit also about what soft power means. And we're not going to get into it into this video, but it's that tender aggression you kind of need to have, that yin and yang, that balance in your life. It's called what I call soft power. So I'm going to do a whole video on that. It's going to be a whole series on that.
Yeah. And I actually just finished doing the outline too for our discipline course. Like we've got a course that we're going to put out on hyper discipline. Like really, how do you focus your attention? How do you kick the dopamine? How do you create your calendar, time management, goals, changing your habits? All that stuff is going to be inside of that. It's going to be another course just as long as this one.
Yeah. So guys, $7 a month. Listen, I'd probably hear people say, "Oh, I can't afford that." Well, then you're right. You absolutely can't.
It's not the time, man. Yeah.
We're here for you, but we also need to charge something because we found when we do free, I've done this before, when I've done free,
it does anything.
They don't do anything. They just feel good for the moment, and then they go back to their own pathetic life. So we got to charge a little bit, $7. This will go quick. It's going to go up from there. But I'm excited about this platform, not only because Alex Hormozi, if you guys don't know who he is, you can Google him, but we were actually in school way before this, and Chase and I decided to jump back in because of the type of person he is, the type of business person he is. He's going to be adding a lot of stuff for the participants of school, the people who actually have platforms. He's going to make us better because he has challenges for us. So he's sort of like our coach, like he's our coach. And so now we have an opportunity to meet him if we do X, Y, and Z and win these challenges. So my goal is to win these challenges so that I have the opportunity to meet him. I mean, have the opportunity to meet almost a billionaire. He will be a billionaire inside 3 years?
Oh yeah, most definitely. No doubt. I've had the opportunity to meet him in the past too. Like I remember when I was in a coaching program, my mentor in that program ended up being one of his coaching students. And he brought him onto a 2-hour call with his Inner Circle program. I was in that Inner Circle program. So me and Kimberly actually got to sit there and talk to him for about 2 hours. Wow. And I got some of the most valuable information I could have ever gotten in my life in that 2 hours. Just some of the things that he said in that 2 hours that really struck me. Things like, the most successful people that he knows in his life are non-reactive. He's like, these guys could take $1 million bet on something, $100 million bet on something, lose it all. And they would look at it and say, "Oh, well, that was unexpected." And then they would just move right on and just continue going. Yeah, well, that sucked. Okay, let's move on. Yeah. And that's what they do. They just keep going. It doesn't matter then. That's why they're willing to take those big risks and stuff too. And that's the kind of knowledge that I really want to put into this community too. Like that's the stuff I really want to bring to the table. I've started and scaled an agency doing marketing services, just Google PPC ads and basic CRM system setups. I did that stuff for, we charged anywhere from like $1,500 a month to $2,500 a month. We were selling websites and stuff on the side, but I built that agency up to about $50,000 a month in monthly recurring revenue income. I built a team of about 14 people behind that whole business too. And one thing I can tell you is that sucked, man. Like it sucked showing up to try and manage 14 different people. And I'm like, if I could do that whole system differently this time around, I would. Like I would totally start what's known as an arbitrage agency. And that means that we're going to put everything on autopilot. We're going to hire a white label company to run our ads for us. We're going to hire another white label company to take care of all of our customer support for us. We're just going to sell our package, make our $500 a month, and we're the middleman. We're out. We don't have to do anything. All we got to do is sell more and more and more of it. All we got to do is master lead flow and lead systems and that kind of stuff. And so that's the stuff I want to teach you guys how to do. That's the stuff I really want to focus on. It's like if I was creating this business from scratch again, how would I create it? And obviously now with Magnetic Men Club, I have experience building a coaching company too. So if you want to build a coaching company, you want to be a fitness coach, you want to be a life coach, You want to be a mindset coach. You want to be like, you teach people guitar lessons, teach people how to do photography, teach people filmmaking and stuff too. Teach them how to do upright videos for TikTok. Whatever it is you want to do, man, like that's what I want to help you monetize. Yeah. Either becoming a coach through it or by offering a low ticket community, just like school. How can you start your own school community? And then how can we help you build that up to your first 500 people in your audience? How can we turn that into a coaching business off the back end or a consulting business off the back end? Something that truly sets men free. And that's why we're doing this stuff. I want to give you everything that I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into coaching over the last 4 or 5 years that I've been at this. I've been doing this for since 2011, right? So I've been doing this going on 13 years now. That's when I started up building like in development, that kind of stuff. I moved into website and building websites for people, building websites for businesses, that kind of stuff. Moved into running ads for people and now coaching. So I've done a lot of different businesses. I know Jared here has actually done a lot of different kind of businesses too. He's been wildly successful with a lot of his endeavors too, especially with the investing side of things. Yep. And so this is all stuff that we really want to pour into you guys so that you guys can create ultimate freedom. Yeah. You guys got to set yourself free, man. Like you can't depend on the economy. You can't depend on other people to pay your paycheck. You can't depend on other people to make sure that you can provide for yourself and provide for your family. If you got a family to provide for, then by all means, I mean, you got to take it slow, but you really got to start building up that side income and come up with something else that's really going to get you paid and make sure that you can be that provider, because you don't want to face months where you're waiting for that check to come in and face months where you're not sure exactly how you're going to put food on the table, right? That's the worst feeling in the world for a man. And that's the stuff we really want to help men overcome.
Yeah, man. I think also, guys, the other part of this is you might not want to be an Alex Hermosi. You might not want to be a multimillionaire. That's fine. We can help you scale whatever you want, but you might not want to know anything about the business side at all. You might just get some gaps and you just want to get yourself from where you are now to a better position. Well, again, joining this community, maybe even working with me one-on-one on a coaching side can actually get you to that. But the whole point is you have to start someplace. You have to do something, because every time I coach a man, what got him there or where he is in his life is not going to get him to where he wants to go. He doesn't have the tools, because if he had the tools, he wouldn't be calling me. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? If you're stuck in a situation, means you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the tools. So you call somebody like a coach, or you might even need a therapist. I don't know what dilemma you have, but we're the ones that are able to make you see a different path for yourself. So you might not want to be a millionaire. You might be fine with what you make. You just want to have a little bit more freedom in your social, like not have that social stigma of, oh, if I go up to this girl, she's going to laugh at me. You might want to ask your boss for a raise and you just don't know how. You might want to just be able to communicate better with your kids, but you just don't know how, or you just don't understand what the next steps are. Well, that's what we're here for too. So yes, Chase has a lot of knowledge in business. I'm going to also pass along whatever knowledge I have between real estate and franchising and the coaching business I have. And we even have opportunities we can bring you guys in where we can pay you for referrals, and we'll get to that down the road. But the point is, wherever you are in your life, wherever you want to go, we want to help you. You know, we're not just looking for the guys that want to be Donald Trumps or the billionaires of the world. I would much rather help the guy who maybe he's a plumber and he's working really hard and he's just trying to get to that next step. Maybe he wants to start his own business. He's a master plumber, but he doesn't have that confidence to actually start his own business. I'd rather work with those guys. Personally, I'd rather work with that type of guy. But so the school community that we have laid out, it is in its infancy. There's a ton of material in there, and I'm going to put a lot more in there over the next, coming months. Same with Chase. And we want to give you so much value for like the little bit that you're actually investing in your dollars. I want to give you so much value that I'm hoping some of this information that you actually apply it and you start making these moves in your life. It could be moves to make monetary. It could be moves just to make social moves, where maybe you had the guts to actually go up to that girl and she said yes. So I want little wins. We want to build this channel. We want it to grow, but we want to take baby steps too with you. Every step of the way, we want to grow. We want you to grow with us. I'm not looking to take your money and give you no value. That's why you can cancel whenever you want. But the whole point of this community is to create it just for men, whatever situation that they have that they need to talk to somebody about. The school community is the closest thing you can get to actually talking to Chase or I or some of the other coaches that we have without actually being a one-on-one coaching situation. This is the closest you're going to get. And so it might be based on your budget where you need to start.
The cool thing about it too is the classroom here, the courses and everything that are in here. It's the same content that we give to our coaching clients. Really, the value in hiring us for one-on-one is the accountability that you're going to get from it. Sure. You're going to be able to actually have that personal one-on-one plan. You're going to be able to have that consulting person on the other side saying, no, do this, do this, do this, then hold you accountable to it. And it's really just that personal time and that personal touch that makes all the difference. And so obviously you're going to get a lot more time and attention when it comes to the one-on-one stuff, but it's not necessary, right? You guys can get started for $7 a month and consume the same courses that we put into our coaching program.
Sure. So besides school, and because you know the information, Chase, that's in there so far, what other things, I'd like to hear from you guys too, but what other things would you like to see in there going forward? Talking to my partner, Chase, here, but if I was struggling in an area, if I was looking to get on a community, what else should we be putting in there? Or what do you think is the next steps?
So the biggest things when it comes to the school community is it's a gamification platform. So you can actually ascend a leaderboard. You can actually compete with everybody else who's in the community and stuff too. The more engagement that you do, the more people who like your comments, the more people who like your posts, the more of those comments and posts that you put out there that you can actually get points for. And then on top of that too, like we have actions that are tied to the course too. And as you take those actions, you'll get other points and stuff too. So it's really the gamification aspect and being able to ascend the ladder.
Okay.
Once you ascend the ladder, you're going to unlock different things. We're thinking, and let us know what you guys would like to see. Like, what do you guys want? So we're thinking we're going to do like free one-on-ones, obviously for me and Jared, for any of the other coaches in the program. We're going to start doing retreats. So I live in Cabo San Lucas, and so I know all the owners in town. I know everything to do here in town. I know exactly where you guys can stay, all that kind of stuff. And so we're thinking once you ascend to the very top of that ladder, you're going to get an all expenses paid trip to Cabo.
Shit, I want to go.
Yeah, exactly. Full on retreat. And so there's all kinds of stuff that you're going to be able to unlock. And right now you're going to get in for the cheapest price that it's ever going to be. Because once we hit 50 members, it's going to go right up to $47 a month until we hit $100 per month. And then it's a $500 initiation fee to even just get started with it.
Yeah.
And so that's where this is going. So right now you're going to be able to start as cheap as it's ever been. And you're going to be able to consume this content. Like I said, we have our bold and balanced course in there right now where we cover different things about, modern men are in crisis. Men are kind of falling behind today. Men's issues really aren't at the forefront because everybody else, the minorities, have been telling us we got to focus on this and that. And now we pretty much vilified middle-aged white men to the point to where they've got the highest rates of death and all that kind of stuff too. And so there's all kinds of stuff that men are kind of facing today in modern society. We talk about those different issues that men are facing, the things you got to be on the watch out for. Yeah. And then initiating yourself into manhood, going through that rite of passage. That's something that we want to help provide you guys too, because every man kind of needs to feel like he's really been initiated into manhood through a tribe of men that he really trusts and that he looks up to and that kind of stuff too. And we really build that tribe of men for you too. And then on top of that, facing doubts and discomfort and that kind of stuff, the stuff that really trips us up and stops us, controlling your emotions, try not to put all the anger and all that kind of stuff out there too. Really setting yourself free and creating that ultimate freedom for yourself. Yeah. And hey, man, how you doing? And so basically from there, you're really just kind of trying to ascend a ladder. We're trying to create this as a roadmap for you. Like, so this is your map to kind of take and say, okay, which area do I really need to focus on? And how can I really hyper focus in that area? How can you use the forum and the other men that are in the community to really
Yeah.
help you kind of do that stuff too? So that's what this is all about. From there, we're going to actually put out courses on genuine authenticity, like what it means to be genuinely authentic, how to build your personal brand, that kind of stuff too, like how to really, get your style and stuff in order, how you want to present yourself and that kind of stuff. The content creation side of things too, like really building that personal brand and putting yourself out there and building that brand up that can really take you places you never expected to go. And so that's all kind of stuff we want to talk about too, like stop the self-sabotage, build a new identity for yourself, and be authentically you. From there, there's going to be a discipline course. Like I said, all about attention is your currency, focus is a superpower, and how to manage your time effectively, how to change your habits, how do you can kind of build that consistency so that you can have all of those things compound for you over time. Because life is made up of little things. Big goals are made up of little goals. And so it's really just kind of identifying how to clarify that process and get on track, stay on track, have that community as accountability on the back end. We've got a daily intentions channel that you can jump into if there's a really critical goal that you're working on. You want some of those men in there to be accountable for you, hold you accountable to that kind of stuff too. That's all stuff that you can jump in there and do as well.
Tell them a little bit. And actually, I have 3 more. We'll talk about it after our live, Chase. But talk to them about the Wheel of Life, because I think that's the best place they should all start, because a lot of people don't understand where they are in their own life. And talk to them a little bit about that and how this is part of that, that $7 a month, it's included in there. And then after he talks about that, you guys get to interact with us on what came up for you on this Wheel of Life. This is the first thing I send all of my paid clients. I send them this first. I'm like, listen, before you and I ever have a conversation, I want you to fill this out. You don't have to send it to me. Just fill it out, and then we're going to talk about it. So I think this is probably worth more than anything you're going to pay for, because this educates you right away.
It tells you where to focus.
So start with that. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Well, the big thing too is, like I said, we covered the leaderboard and stuff here too. And as you guys kind of ascend the leaderboard, we're going to have different prizes and all that kind of stuff available for you guys. So that's kind of where you're starting out there. Obviously, you got to engage the community, complete these actions, that kind of stuff to get more points. There's actions that are tied to the classroom and the courses and all that kind of stuff too, just to know that you're on track, to know that you're completing things, to know that you're ranking on the leaderboard, so that you can really see that progress and rub it in the other guys' faces.
That's right.
On top of that, right here, like I said, we've got these actions, all that stuff too. And then we've got this classroom here too, where we have this Wheel of Life that Jared just mentioned. He goes over it in this video right here, how to fill it out, what you're going to do with that. It covers these different aspects here too. Like, how do you rank your work life 1 to 10? How do you rank your finances 1 to 10? How do you rank your home, your health, your fun, community, family, romance? So all you got to do is just download this little PDF right here. And that's where we have this, basically. You just rank each one of these things with a little dot. Like, use a red pen or something like that. Print this off. Use a red pen. Put a little dot here. You're going to rank that like maybe a 6. You're going to rank that like this, basically like that. And then just draw your lines all the way around, just so you can kind of see where you need to focus. Like, maybe you need to put more effort into your community. Maybe you need to spend more time with family. Maybe you're not dating your wife anymore. You're not doing enough on the romance side, right? So it's really all of those different things. You want to rank all those things. Maybe you're eating too many Twinkies, man. I don't know. Yeah. So that's where all this stuff comes down. How do you rank yourself on each one of these things, and where do you kind of need to focus your time and attention? Because we only have so much time and attention, and obviously as men, attention is our greatest currency.
Right. Yeah. That's a really good starting point for men on at least evaluating or self-evaluating where they are. Now, I remember, I'll tell you a story. When I first got this from my coach, or one of my coaches, but this is a coach maybe a few years ago, they sent me almost the same thing. And I filled it out with the coach kind of on a live call. I didn't realize that certain areas, it's almost like not a perfect wheel. Nobody's life's a perfect wheel. So you might be crushing it in business, but your social life sucks. So that might be a 3. Your health might be a 4. So when you start connecting it, it looks like this jagged piece. And our whole goal is to get the wheel to be as round as possible. So we take the worst areas, we start bringing those up. Maybe one's a 3. Maybe initially we're trying to get it to at least a 5 or a 6. Once we kind of get some wins there, then we're going to try to get to a 7 or an 8. The idea is this is probably one of the best tools that I've ever gotten to actually self-reflect on shit I didn't even realize in my life. And I'm like, oh my God, I thought this part of my life was really cool. Nope, it's not. So that's really a cool one. Another one that's going to come out, and I'm developing it right now, is a lot of people don't know what their core values are. And if you've never heard of core values, I'll get into it in a much deeper YouTube video, and I'll get into it in the school platform. But generally, everybody has about 10 core values, but it's really the first 5 that drive literally everything about you. All of your behaviors are based on those 5 core values. So, for instance, a core value might be you value health and fitness. And one of the things you will do every day, which is a non-negotiable, is go to the gym and eat healthy. That's a core value. But you might not think of that as a core value. You just might be doing it. But you have to identify it. So I have a program coming up that will be in the school, and it's like an automated thing. It's going to ask you a bunch of questions, and it's going to tell you what your 5 top core values are, and it's going to have a description on what that means. Now you have a map. Now you know what you value. Now, with that information, you're able to look back on your life and realize I made these decisions not knowing how they based on my core values. And another option would be I didn't make some of these decisions, but I wasn't honoring myself through my core values. This is why I'm feeling stuck. This is why I'm.
See, this is a really interesting topic because I don't think a lot of people are very intentional. Like that's one of the key things when it comes to getting into coaching. Like we want people to be more intentional. So like being intentional means being intentional on those personal values. Like the biggest ones that I've seen, obviously like exercise, nutrition. You can lump both of those under health if you wanted to. Mindset, respect for others, that kind of stuff. Compassion for others, having integrity for self, valuing like relationships. Like what do you value most? Like do you value your health? Do you value like physical health? Do you value mental health? All that kind of stuff. Do you value personal time? Do you value like having fun? Do you value having certain hobbies? That kind of stuff too. Like it's really just getting clear on those things specifically. Because like I said, so many people out there are so unintentional with these things, meaning that they just kind of let them self-set, right? That they're living on default because they never really sat down and said, I really value this. I really value that. So they're not living aligned with what they value is what that means. And so that's why usually somebody feels like crap all the time because they're not doing the things that correlate with their values. Like you don't really choose your values. There's just things that you value more than others, and you kind of know that based on feelings. And if you're feeling like crap all the time, like if you're feeling shame, if you're feeling like you're not aligned, you're feeling like you're lost, you're feeling confused, that kind of stuff, it's usually because you're not living aligned with those core values.
Right.
And like I said, I mean, that comes down to like if you value health, like are you going to the gym enough? Are you drinking enough water? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you taking care of your mental health? Right. Do you have routines on that kind of stuff? And so once you know that you value those things, you can say, okay, I'm not doing any of that crap. And so I really need to start working that stuff into my life. And it makes the biggest difference because you start living every single day differently from that point forward. It's a huge pattern interrupt. Yeah. And it's the first step in that.
A lot of it you can look at it this way because this is a lot of society tells you need to act to be a high value man or to have that buzzword as this alpha man. You need to act a certain way. And if you don't act and you don't have these attributes and you don't subscribe to this thinking, then you're not a high value man. Well, I think that's all a bunch of horseshit. I think that's a lot of more red pill, which I do agree a lot with the red pill, but there are some, the red pill tends to get very misogynistic on a lot of its thoughts. And so the way I want to develop this program is there's a spectrum of manhood. There are men that I know that are gay and they're very feminine, but they're still men. They still have the same hopes, dreams. Some of these guys are probably more driven than I am. One has a multi-million dollar company. He's gay. I don't take that away from his manhood because he's gay. As a matter of fact, I see him once in a while. I said, hey, man, you're taking guys off the field for me. Fucking A, great. He starts laughing. I'm like, hell no, because he's a good-looking man. I'm like, if you were straight, we'd be in trouble. So there's this spectrum, and I want to honor everybody who comes into my community as long as they are still holding their man card. And what I mean by that, there are these self-prescribed feminists
Right.
who will throw men under the bus just to get what they want. These men I will never work for. These men I'll never work with because they're basically that super nice guy, but they actually know what they're doing. And I won't get too much into that, but there's this spectrum. And I don't want you guys to feel in the spectrum like, oh, you know what? I am a gay man. Is this community for me? Fuck yeah, community's for you. I'm struggling in a divorce, but I don't want to come off too vulnerable. This is the exact place you need to come to because you should only be vulnerable around other men. You should never be vulnerable around women.
They'll keep you on track, man, for sure.
So there's this spectrum that I want you guys to realize. If it's not this idea that you have to act out, a lot of people think I'm a little bit more on the alpha side. And that's probably true, but some of the people that actually know me, I'm not. It's not an act, but that's really not who I am. And so back to the core values and how this correlates to this is once you know what your core values are, now you can live an aligned life, and that aligned life becomes your authenticity. Now you become authentic to yourself. Forget the outside world. You're honoring who you are. And once those two people meet, that ideal you and the real you, and you guys can audit yourselves, this is where the magic happens, where you literally can coach yourself because you know now what your values are.
Well, here's the thing. Like that's the bridge, right? So you're creating the gap. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to figure out exactly what that gap is. Because right now it's all fuzzy. You can't see anything.
Right.
We really want to make sure that gap is well defined. And so the first step is, okay, well, where are you? Who are you? What's going on in your life that you don't seem to like? What doesn't align with you? Do you not like your job? Do you not like your wife? Do you not like your girlfriend? Do you not like the life, family life, whatever? Do you not like where you're at, location-wise? Like, what exactly is it? What in your life do you perceive as being inefficient? Like, is it yourself? Like, do you feel like you should be more physically fit? Do you feel like you could have a better mindset? Do you feel like you need more direction? Are you lost? Are you confused? Whatever it is, man, like, let's identify exactly where you're at. That's this side of things. The other side is what you think needs to happen. Like, where exactly do you think you need to be? Let's think about your best life. If you were living that best life, like, let's say, I remember when I was sitting at the IRS and working in my cubicle back in 2018, 2019, before I really got on to doing the marketing agency stuff and building all that stuff up. I was sitting in this cubicle and I was talking to business owners every single day. And they were asking me questions. Their accountants were calling me. Their bookkeepers were calling me. They were calling me. And none of them, not any one person in the whole scenario, had any idea what they were doing.
Yeah.
That's what I discovered. Like, they were completely relying on me to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
And then I started to realize, okay, well, that's a really masculine trait. Like, women rely on men to tell them what to do. It's not really so much submission in the sense that she's your slave. It's submission to tell me what to do.
Right.
Most people are just lost. They're confused. They don't know exactly what to do. They need really strong masculine figures there to tell them what to do, to guide them, to provide them with enough guidance to get to where they want to be so they can achieve what they want. Mm-hmm. That's the natural state of men. We want others around us to achieve what they want. We don't want to hold people back.
Right.
Really, like, even women that want to step up and be independent women, like, freaking awesome, dude. Go be an independent woman. Why do you need me to want to be with you if you want to go be an independent woman? Like, that's cool. Go be an independent woman. You're not attractive to me. That's my preference. Cool. Yeah. Move on. We can both coexist. It's fine. Yeah. That's the natural state of men. Like, it just is. That's where we're all at. We're focused on what we need to focus on to move ourselves forward and to move the people around us forward. And so foundationally, like men provide that structure. Men provide that foundation. Men take ownership so that they step up in a scenario. Like if it were an apocalypse scenario and we had to band together and like figure out exactly what was going on, it's a man who's going to step up and lead that community. Like it just is.
Yeah.
And so you have to understand, like most other people are just going to sit there and kick their toes around, like, no, I don't want to lead this. I don't want to do anything. No, it's not like the movies where everybody wants to be the leader, man. Nobody wants to be the leader. And so that's usually what it is. It's a man's space to kind of step up and do those things. And so I realized when I was sitting in that cubicle, like, dude, my life is my own responsibility. If I want to be in Cabo with setting my own schedule, not having to show up to a job 9 to 5, not having to sit in traffic, I can like work from my home. And then when work is done, when I decide work is done, I could go to the beach. I can go to the gym whenever the fuck I want. Yeah. I can go for a hike up the mountain if I want to. I can go do some outdoor activities. It doesn't matter. Like I can do this shit whenever the hell I want. It's having that ultimate freedom that allows you to do that. When you have that, man, nobody pushes you around. You have all the self-confidence and self-esteem that you need. You know that all you need is yourself. You need to stop relying on other people. Stop relying on your parents. Stop relying on your girlfriend. Stop relying on your friends. And just take ownership and be that person, man. And you're the guy. If not you, then who? Who's the boss I should be talking to if it's not you? You're not the boss? Okay, get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah, man. I think talking about that extreme ownership, I think that's one of the things that is to a degree that's been lacking in some of these self-help books and some of these self-help quote unquote gurus. I'm not a fucking guru on anything. I really just do videos and I talk about shit that I've been through personally. And so I have the ability to talk about it. That's really what I do. But I have noticed, like Chase said, I have been in a military environment where there was a ranking, there was an order, and inside that order, these people had certain responsibilities, and you followed them blindly. Well, sometimes the blindly, that was a loaded question because some of them got us into some really fucked up situations. But the point is, there's a rank, and men understand this. Men understand there's a rank. Like Chase said, if we were all stuck on an island and there was 10 guys, all of a sudden they're on an island, we're going to find out real quick who the alpha is. And the alpha is usually the one who maybe has been stuck on a fucking island before. Maybe he was in the military. Maybe he was an operator.
Well, the thing is, too, is like,
we're going to figure out who he is. And we're not going to bitch and whine and moan. We're like, all right, dude, what do we do? You go get wood. I'm going to get wood. I'm the wood dude. You guys are going to start building. And this is how it is. So when you're talking to somebody and auditing with them, say, I'm stuck in an area of my life, you want coaching, which is allowing the space for you to get out what's going on in your life, asking empowering questions because you already know the answer. And then you want the consult side on, all right, go fucking do this. That's what you want. And so we want to do that balance in our school community, in the coaching platform. There wants to be a balance where we want you to have the opportunity to talk through the coaching. You already know the right answers. You just don't know you know the right answers. And then together come up with a plan on what to do.
Yeah.
This is what men need. We're fine with structure. We might fucking hate the dude in charge, but he knows more than us, and we want to succeed or we don't want to die, so we're going to listen to him. And that's a respect thing. That's just like, I don't want to die, dude, so I'm getting wood. That's all I'm good for. Fuck, I'm going to get all the wood possible. That's my job.
Well, the thing is, too, is men can do that. Like, men don't – there's really no hierarchy. It doesn't matter. Like, okay, that dude wants to be in charge. He's in charge. He knows something I don't. Like, that's the thing. If he steps up and he's unsure of himself, somebody else is going to step up. That's going to happen. That guy steps up. And he's like, "Oh, I'm in charge. Does anybody know how to build a fire?"
Right.
He's out. No, dude, get out. Get the fuck out of here. The guy who knows how to build a fire is going to jump up and he'd be like, "Dude, I'm in charge. What the fuck are you doing?" And so that's really what it is. It's really the guy who's the most confident, who knows the most about what's going on. The only way to be that guy is to get experience. You've got to be around experience. You've got to be around other people who have that experience, who can transfer it to you. And on top of that, consult with people who can tell you what to do, to tell you what to practice so that you can refine and sharpen those skills in yourself.
Right. And then back to my final point with this. There's a lot of people out there where they'll just bitch about something, but they don't give you actionable steps. They just bitch, and then that's it. And you're like, well, yeah, I agree with you, man, but what? Now, what do we do? Stay tuned for the next episode. What? It's fine to bitch about something going on in your life. If you're complaining about it, then that means it affects you. What the fuck are you going to do about it? That's where we're here. Okay. Join the school program. First one. Okay, cool. $7, no big deal. Start getting some wins. You know what? I need to put some gas on this. I want one-on-one time. Okay. Do one-on-one time. The point is, if you just bitch about your life and do nothing, then that's fine. Just know in 10 years, you're going to be 10 years older, stuck in the same exact place you are right now, just 10 years older. I've seen this with friends of mine who are my age. Now, I'm 48. They're 48. They are years behind me in literally everything. Years. But they made decisions in their life to bitch, but not change anything. They made decisions to bitch, yet still go out every Friday and Saturday and drink with the guys. They made decisions to maybe never get married and they're kind of alone, or they're with a girl who's just as dysfunctional as them. So their life is like, if you like all this, if you're fine being average, it's fine. This channel is not for you. It's clearly not for you. We want people to understand that, okay, I hate being average. Average fucking sucks. Do you know how easy it is to be in that top 10, 20% of men? It's so easy. Never in history has it been this easy, because 80% of men don't do shit. So you don't have to beat them. You only have to get into the top 10 or 20. Think about it this way, guys. Overweight, 76% of the population is overweight. That means 76% of the population is average. That's what it means. A fat fuck is average now. But you're not. You're going to the gym, got a little bit of pounds on you, you want it off, you want to get into that 20% people. You're not average. By definition, you're not like the masses. This is what we are. We want to help people who don't want to be average. If you take us up on that challenge for $7, you can't beat that. You can certainly wait till we get to 47. You can certainly wait till we get to 100. At some point, it might be 500 a month. I don't know. And then you can decide to do it. Kind of dumb, but some people do like to wait and spend all their money. They can get in early. But the point is, I only want to work with people who want to be helped, who are like me, who have that idea with me and Chase that, are we always going to get it right? No, but we will keep going until we get it right. That's what I want. That's all I want from the people I coach, from the mentors that are around me. I know they're not perfect, but I'll listen to them as long as they're trying for perfection each time in their own craft. What do you think?
I think it's like a sculpture, man. Like, that's what I really think you're doing. Like, you're really sculpting yourself. Like, it's more than just being fit and at the gym and that kind of stuff too. Like, you're really sculpting every part of yourself. Like, you're sculpting your mind, you're sculpting your mindset, you're sculpting out all those personal values that mean something to you. You're sculpting out all those little limiting beliefs that you have about yourself, like that money is bad or that you're not worthy or whatever it is, man. Like, it's just chipping all that stuff off one little thing at a time, and slowly having that masterpiece appear before you. And it's going to take time, man. Like, obviously it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a month. It could happen in 6 months. You can change quite a bit in 6 months. You'd be surprised, but you got to get started now.
I think most of my programs are 90 days. Most of my one-on-ones, it's tops 90 days. And it's like,
I mean, at the very least, in that 90 days, like you're on track, man. Like you have vision and you're moving forward in the direction of your dreams. And that's really what all this stuff comes down to. You can do that in as little as 90 days. Absolutely.
Well, most of my guys, like I say, if I can't make massive shifts in 90 days, fuck, I'll give you your money back or you're not doing anything. And then I'll know that. I'm like, dude, you're not doing anything. But my point is, where like therapy gets wrong, which I'm not shooting on therapists, but their goal is to keep you in therapy forever because that's how they get paid. That's not my goal. I want you to get from functional to extreme as fast as possible and then stop calling me. I love you, but you don't need me anymore. Go do your life. That's what I want.
My dream for this, like, hey, Singing, I appreciate that too. Every man should put in the work. That's what we're constantly doing, is trying to sculpt the man out of us. And ultimately, like, stop focusing on your wife, what your wife is or isn't doing. Stop focusing on your kids, the government, whatever, your friends, what they are and aren't doing. Just focus on you, man. Turn that focus right back around and say, okay, what am I doing? My life is my responsibility. Like, you ever get pissed off that your football team lost? It's like, dude, like, fuck them. They didn't want to win. I'm going to go win. I'm going to go get a fucking sale tomorrow. Fuck those guys. So that's really what it comes down to. That's how I motivate myself through those kind of little things, right? And so that's really what all this stuff comes down to. And we're just trying to sculpt the man out of this. And it's going to take time. It takes as much time as you allow, like really as much as you want to be committed to it. But like I said, it really just comes down to focusing on yourself. It comes down to making sure that you're achieving goals in the direction that you want to. And that's why we like having a community here, is because now, dude, this gives us a way to work on this over time. Like, this gives us a way to build a roadmap for other men. And then on top of that, as other men get in there, my dream and vision for this is for anybody who's starting out right now to help those guys get what they want. Anybody who's been through the same struggles, jump in there and help out and give back to those guys. Anything that we give to you, anything that we pour into this, give it back to those guys. Make sure they've got it day one. Make sure they're set up for success. And then from there, dude, go start your own coaching program. We'll help you do it. We'll give you everything we have, man. All the funnels, emails, and all that stuff I have set up on the back end, all the marketing stuff, it's yours. I will totally give it to you. If you believe in my program, invest in me, you give me money for coaching, man, I will give you all that stuff. Everything that I spent 10 years building, it's yours. If you invest in me, I will invest in you. That's my word.
That's what we do. We want to invest in our own winners, so people that we can help. I want to help you too. So this isn't a one-sided agreement, if you will. But really, the takeaway here, guys, we didn't talk about anything in particular other than the school platform, but it is that bridge. It is that low-ticket bridge for you to at least show us that you have some type of interest in self-improvement. Show us and yourself that there is some gaps that you really want to work on. This is a perfect way to at least start reading up, watching the videos. Obviously, more stuff will go in there, but work on it yourself, because a lot of this you can do yourself. This is why it's called self-help. You really can help yourself, but at any point, if you're a little stuck and you're watching the videos and you're still like, I'm fucking lost, this is when you need to pick up the phone and give us a call. Let's do a discovery call and let's see what's really going on and why you're really stuck. And that's the biggest takeaway I want here is you want to start something. We're in February right now. What's going to look like in a year from now if you don't do anything? You're going to be a year older and nothing new. I don't want that to be you guys. I want you to be like, well, shit, in 6 months, even doing the $7 a month thing, I got enough confidence to ask my boss for a raise. And yes, it wasn't the greatest raise, but I got a raise. You know what? That raise made me, I don't know, $5,000 a year. For $7, I made $5.
It's the start that you need.
Little wins. So that's what I want to leave with here. I definitely appreciate you guys watching this. Check out school. Chase, you can take it home from there. Chase developed this program. I'm not the technical guy. I just talk and run my fucking mouth. And Chase and Kim, they're the ones that actually put this stuff together. So if there's anything specifically you want them to do, Chase, bring it home.
Yeah, if you guys want to make any recommendations for courses, absolutely. We'd love to hear you guys out. If there's something specific you guys want to learn, then we're happy to put the time into it. If you guys have any content suggestions for us here, if there's anything you guys want to cover, maybe even a conversation that you have, if there's some real value that you think you can offer this community, man, like we'd love to have you on here, even with us personally here as the talking heads, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what we're trying to do, man. Our mission is all about men attaining ultimate freedom, because men in today's society are largely discarded. They just have no direction. They're taught the wrong things from the get-go. They're not initiated into manhood. Most of them don't have fathers. A lot of them think they're women. It's all over the place, man. And that's the stuff that we're really trying to change. And so that's what all this stuff comes down to. We want to get as many men in here as possible so that we can create a space exclusively for men and men's issues and solving these things so that men can really achieve that life they really want to be living. They can really have that relationship that makes them feel fulfilled. Yeah. They can start to have that self-belief and that self-confidence and that self-esteem to start to achieve more things. What would that do for your life? How would that amplify into your life if you really felt confident, if you really felt like you could do these things? That's really what it comes down to, is feeling like that because there's other men around you that are rooting you on and saying, okay, dude, I've done that shit. It's fucking easy. Just do this, and this. That's what it all comes down to. That's what we're trying to create here. So if you guys really want to get in there, you guys want to support this, we're asking for a small investment up front because it's just time you start investing in yourself, man. It's time. It's a small investment. It's time you started investing in yourself and be part of something bigger. Be part of a greater mission. Help other men do the same stuff. And let's achieve everything together. I think that if we can make men strong again, if we can make men manly again, it would truly change the world.
It would. Had a great time this time today, Chase. I appreciate you and Kim putting this all together because it's a lot of work. You guys might be in computers. I don't know shit about it, but I know they've done a ton of back-end work just to get this community up and the content in there and everything talking to each other. They did it. So thank you, Kim and Chase, for that part. That's crazy.
We got a question here too. It says, what's your advice for young men?
Get into this because watch those 15 videos and watch them in the order they are because it actually one of them maps onto the other one.
I mean, that's an interesting question for me too, because like I know that my older men versus younger men, like obviously the goals are entirely different. I'm raising young boys too, so like that's a lot of stuff. Like the things that I would tell them to focus on is, man, like forget about women first and foremost. You got to build skills. You got to build yourself up. Don't even worry about women until you're in your late 20s, man. Like not even at all. I mean, it's one thing to go out and like play the field and have some game, build up your game and all that kind of stuff. Work on your social skills. Don't get into relationships. Don't be in a rush for that stuff. Don't focus on women at all. Focus on you. Make sure that you're going to the gym. Make sure you're building yourself. Make sure you're building skills for your future.
Yeah, I don't know how old the guy is who asked that, but that's exactly. My son's 19. He'll be 20 in February. And that's exactly what he's doing. It's not that he's not dating. He's not investing in that part. He's an automotive repair technician, and he's taking extra classes when they're available to up his skills. Now, this might not sound like a lot, but he's 19. He made $52,000 Now, he's got to get taxed on that just this past year. How many other 19-year-olds are making that kind of money? His friends that are going the college route certainly are. They're going into debt. He's got some investments. So he's focusing his investments, he's focusing on him right now. And like Chase says, at some point, he can then start focusing on women. He can then start focusing on maybe getting into some other hobbies. But right now, his hobby is to build himself, to build his money, and to build his skills in his job. Because he can get fired any day, but you can't take his skills away from him so he can get another job.
Well, here's the thing. That's the stuff that makes women chase you, man. Like, that's the stuff that really makes women want you. And that's the stuff that makes them want you more than everybody else. Because one thing you even have to look at too is like, even if you take Tinder, for instance, there's 10 guys on Tinder. There's one guy that has 10 women interested in him.
Oh yeah.
The other 9 guys, they're just sitting there. They're not doing anything. They're not getting shit from that app. You don't want to be part of the 9 guys. You want to be the one guy that is sought after. And the only way to do that is to put in the work on yourself. Like you've really got to focus on yourself and say, you know, women aren't important. I don't care, dude. If I build myself up, if I, you know, get these muscles I want, I get myself in shape, I get the body I want, I have the skills, I have the money, I have the car, I have the house, the women are yours.
Yeah.
They're swiping on you every time, man. That you're yours.
Yeah. And you wouldn't have to even go on those stupid sites. They'll find you just going out. So focus on yourself. Whoever asks that question, focus on yourself. Find whatever skill set. Don't find your fucking passion. That's stupid. I don't care what your passion is. Find something you can make money at and be really good at and make that your passion. Your passion might be singing in a band. That's just stupid because you can't make money doing that. You can do that at night with your buddies.
Here's the thing. I can absolutely teach you how to make money from your passion. However, there are some certain qualifiers for that. There's certain things that you got to develop first when it comes to time management, managing yourself. I remember when I jumped into business from actually having a job and stuff, man, I fell on my face. Because for one thing, having a job, like you're one job in that company. When you go start a business, every job is yours.
You're everything.
Every job is yours. You are everything. You are there for everything.
Yeah.
You're the guy putting out all the fires. You're the guy making all the sales, everything. And so that's the thing. You don't want to be that guy. Yeah. And so I'm going to teach you guys how to do this exactly the right way. I will teach you how to monetize your passion, but there are certain qualifiers first, and you have got to live in the meantime. So I wouldn't go quit that job just yet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. Have an amazing weekend. I appreciate you guys every week following us on a journey, letting this channel grow. Yeah. And then check out school. You can't lose, you know?
Exactly. We're here for you guys. So just let us know what you guys need, and we'll see you guys again next week.
Thank you.
Unless you jump in the community, then we'll see you tomorrow.